Nick Fuentes has had enough. He's destroying the Trump and GOP Republican Party. It does not look the same that it used to back when Trump used to be in office before Biden. There's just a totally different agenda, a different perspective, and a whole different outlook that we did not vote for. He expresses all that frustration and more. Stick around all the way to the end. You don't want to miss this. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's run it.
Now, the whole weight of this MAGA machine, which is just a monstrosity, how much money they've raised because of who they represent. The GOP represents now Wall Street, Silicon Valley, Israel. It's got a huge war chest, way bigger than the Democrats. And now what is that machine?
It's true. I mean, the GOP now, it feels like it represents exactly what he said. It doesn't even feel like an American representation anymore. It's just kind of crazy to see.
What is it arrayed against now? Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie is one of the only congressman, maybe the only Republican speaking out against Israel and saying that we should put America first. He's leading the charge on opposition to our intervention in the Middle East. He's leading the charge on Epstein. And now he's public enemy number one of MAGA. And he is being persecuted by Susie Wiles, a fucking lobbyist. He is being persecuted by Lindsey Graham, who Trump endorsed for the fourth time or third time. Think of this. Think of this. Obviously, something has gone wrong. You will not get the Epstein files, even though the Trump administration, it's their prerogative. It's their DOJ. They could do it tomorrow. They won't. They're fighting not to. They're fighting Thomas Massie. The never-Trumpers that took over MAGA world are turning the Death Star laser of Silicon Valley and Wall Street and Israel's money that powers the GOP to destroy Thomas Massie because he dared to say America first. When it comes to Jeffrey Epstein and Israel, something has gone terribly wrong. And that's why you're not going to get 2 more votes here. Where's Paul Gosar? Where is that fucking asshole? Huh? Where's Paul Gosar, the courageous hero? I don't know. Ask his wife. She knows. She runs his life. She runs his shit, coward. Where's everybody else? Where's the MAGA caucus, huh? You have these freakazoids. Lauren Boebert, who's doing sexual stuff in the movie theater. Nancy Mace, who is a psycho. They're the only people that believe this stuff in the GOP. They're the only people that are actually true believers. Where are all these other 210 Republicans that it was so critical to go out and vote for in the last cycle? Where are they? It's no different than, do you remember in 2022 when at that time they said they were going to release the 45,000 hours of J6 Capitol footage? Remember that whole debacle? Remember when all the 2000 January 6 patriots were languishing in prison and there was 45,000 hours of footage from Capitol Hill security cameras that could have exonerated them? We were promised that in the midterms then, and they didn't deliver. I shouldn't say they didn't deliver because they did deliver the footage to somebody. Anybody remember? Does anybody remember who those 45,000 hours of Capitol Hill footage were delivered to? One person got them. One person was able to review them. Does anybody remember who it was? Tucker Carlson. Remember that whole episode? Oh, no, I totally forgot. Oh, no, I forgot. That's what they do every time. That's what they count on. In 2022, we're going to release those 45,000 hours of footage. We're going to get to the bottom of the Fedsurrection. We're going to get to the bottom of this conspiracy. Fedsurrection. We're going to get to the bottom of it. When we take the House, we're going to subpoena the government and get the footage.
Woo! Nick's on fire, baby. He's not letting them up. He knows what they're up to, huh? He knows what they're up to.
They didn't. Oh, wait, they did, but they gave it to one person. Tucker. Whatever happened to it, guys? Whatever happened to the footage? Notice a pattern? They did the same thing here. 2024, we're going to get to the bottom of this conspiracy. It's a pedo island conspiracy. We need to get elected to have transparency. They get elected. Oh, you care about that? You're crazy. You're a Democrat. And pay attention to every influencer on the internet. Pay attention to every dumbass influencer that is telling you you're crazy, that is against Thomas Massie. Pay attention to everyone that's on the wrong side of this issue, because it either means they're being paid, just like the Democrats. There was a big scandal that came out. I forget which publication. It was a left-wing publication. But just like all the Democrats are on the payroll of the DNC, all the influencers, it's the same with the Republicans. If anyone's against Massie, they're either on the payroll of the Republicans or they're too stupid. But do not let them gaslight you into thinking that we don't deserve this. Because, and it goes without saying, the only reason we're not getting disclosure on this is because it would indict Israel. Obviously. How about these new revelations that Peter Thiel and the Prime Minister of Israel and Jeffrey Epstein were all hanging out together repeatedly? How about that new revelation? Why do you think they don't want to release it? It's because they're implicated. The Republicans are implicated with Israel. They protect themselves. Israel is part of it. That's why they won't release it. And so this idea that, you know, we're going to vote for Trump and Trump is going to deliver the revolution, obviously he's part of it. He's with them, obviously. Vance, Thiel, Tucker, they're all with them. Don't you understand now? That's what this shows. And if there wasn't something in there, why would they not release it? For all of these Republicans that are protesting this so much, why not just release it then? If it's a hoax, if it's a distraction, why not just release it and get it over with? Why fight tooth and nail to prevent the disclosure? Why marshal the resources against Republicans, create animosity with Marjorie Greene and Thomas Massie and the base? Why go through all this? Of course, because they're hiding something. They're protecting their own, obviously. And so the proposition of what Trump is, it's just no longer there anymore. What you're going to get from Trump is they're protecting themselves. Same story as always. Same policies, corporate tax cuts, wars all over the world. And what is the real change? It's a change in style. Aunt Jemima's making a comeback. Uncle Ben is making a comeback. Cracker Barrel logo is making a comeback. It's the Department of War. And all of you fucking idiots, all of you dummies, all the Hill people, conspiracy theorists, flyover country, the basket of deplorables, you're all supposed to eat that up. Alligator Alcatraz. Oh boy. I hear Trump's really going to do it to him this time, and they fucking close it down in 30 days. They hate you. They hate you. They think you're an idiot. And in many cases, unfortunately, they are right.
Do you think that he's right? Do you think that they think we're all idiots? I wonder what we as American people think, because, it feels that way sometimes.
And it's sad. That's your Epstein files. Yep, it's a Democrat hoax. Remember that next year when Trump is going to be begging you to vote in the midterms. As stagflation sets in, the job market is cooked. Interest rates cannot come down because inflation's ticking back up. The war in Ukraine is only going to accelerate. We're going back to Iran. When all this stuff is raging and they're begging for your vote in the midterms next year, begging you, we just need to finish the job. President Trump needs you to vote, needs a majority. We got to finish what we started. Remember when he told you, I don't need your vote. Remember when they said Thomas Massie needs to switch parties already. Remember that. They call you a Democrat because you're true to the actual America First principles from 2016. And it's incredible. Now they're all glazing Patrick Buchanan all the time. You see this? They're taking turns now celebrating Patrick Buchanan. And, there's something funny about that. They will always glaze these people when they're inert. Have you noticed that? Pay very close attention. When Patrick Buchanan was running for president, these Trump and Tucker and all these people wanted this guy dead. Now that he's 100 years old, now they want to give him the Medal of Freedom. Come on, fossil. Come on, you fossil. Now that you can't fight anymore, now that you're 100 years old, after we destroyed your reputation, destroyed your career, destroyed your life, oh, now we want to put a medal on you and appropriate your sacrifice. We want to appropriate your integrity, your struggle, your sacrifice, your courage. We want to say, oh, retroactively, we were wrong. You were right. Here's your medal. And now we expect him to die within 15 years. You don't want to say that in a glib way. But that's what it is. Same with Ron Paul. All the same people said Ron Paul was crazy, wouldn't give him a chance, wanted him dead. Now that Ron Paul is 100 years old, oh, Ron Paul, maybe he was right. We should listen to him. When people like me and Thomas Massey and Ye and whoever, when these people are alive, they fight us tooth and nail. It's the same story. And watch. If I were gunned down tomorrow, they'd lionize me. In 20, 30 years, and in 60, 70 years, whatever, when I'm politically inert, then they'll lionize me. This is just how they play. In the now, they're screwing us over. In the now, they're screwing us over. They're pissing on our leg, telling us it's raining, doing one thing, telling us it's another. And I guess the reason that stands out to me is because when you look at 2016, who was spiritually with Trump in 16? It was the alt-right. And now here we are 10 years later, and it's just indistinguishable from the GOP.
True, man. It's true. It looks so different than what we voted for, than what we had back in 2016 or in 2020. When Trump was president, back before Biden, and now it's just a completely different office with a completely different agenda and a completely different perspective. Everything looks completely different. It's just insane, man. It's just insane.
Who is in the Trump camp now? It's Susie Wiles, J.D. Vance, who was a never Trumper. It's Rick Grenell, who's a gay neocon. It's Marco Rubio, who is a neocon and ran against Trump in 2016. It's Lindsey Graham, who's been around from, this is MAGA now. And who's on the outside? Thomas Massey, Marjorie Greene, Nick Fuentes. In some sense, Tucker's afraid to criticize Trump. Even Tucker's drifted outside. It's crazy. The gaslighting is insane. And to me, that's the story. That's the biggest story. Maybe that's the biggest significance of it. They said, hey, you rubes, hey, conspiracy theorists, hey, Hill people, hey, all you dumb fuck Republicans that care about the pedophile island conspiracy, don't worry, we're going to take care of it when we win. They win, they don't deliver, and then they turn and say, hey, dummies, you better get in line. It's crazy, and people take it. They created this. They played into it. They played it up. And now that the Hill people want it, they turn and say, you fucking idiots. If you still want this, you're not loyal enough. You still care about this? You should just change your party affiliation because you're not loyal to Trump. And all these suckers eat this up. All these suckers make it, John Doyle, it was surprising. He's one of these YouTubers. He did a video about it defending this, and his comment section ate him alive. So people need to understand that Trump went wrong here. This is a joke. And it's incredible to witness how the narrative goes from, we will be more transparent than any administration. Here it is, guys. Here's your Epstein files. Wait, you still care about that? You're hostile to the administration. You need to switch parties. What are you, a Democrat? Why do you still care about this? And all the influencers follow suit. It proceeds from the top. The hypocrisy, the about face comes from Trump, and it trickles down and proceeds from the rest. And they go from 6 months ago, all right, everybody, promises made, promises kept. Here's your files. Here's what we promised and we delivered. 6 months later, oh, you actually wanted those files? You're stupid. I don't even want your support. You need to become a Democrat already. You still care about that? That doesn't even matter. And if you think it does, well, you're useless and an idiot, and we need to focus on other stuff. And that's Trump, and that's Pam Bondi, and it proceeds all the way down through the asshole Cernovich's, Paso.
It does kind of feel like we're being gaslit by the U.S. government, doesn't it? One day they're saying it's a hoax. One day you've got the ladies actually crying, talking. I have a whole video about it. Go watch it. I'll put it in the description.
The cat turds, the DC Dranos, all these cock-sucking influencers that are paid to lie, all these whores, and that's what they are. How did Mike Cernovich get so obscenely wealthy? Anybody know? Mike Cernovich went from a obscure pickup artist, blogger who was writing about having sex with trannies in Thailand, chemically salty taste of their penises. That's in his blog. How did he go from that to political operator? Who paid him all this money? His patrons. His patrons. He gets on his knees, he opens up his mouth, they give him the cash, and he says whatever they want him to say. And then he gets to walk around like he's the man. You have no fans. If you did a live stream, you couldn't get 300 viewers. You have no fans. You're a whore for money. Same with Jack Posobiec. Jack Posobiec 10 years ago was sucking up to Richard Spencer. I'm old enough to remember. Jack Posobiec was begging Richard Spencer to hang out with him. Hey, Richard, I'm really based. 1488, brother, I'm really based. What do you think about Harold Covington? I'm old enough to remember that. And then what happened? Oh, he took his honeymoon in Israel. He took his honeymoon in Israel, and then everybody forgot that he was obsessed with Harold Covington, trying to be Richard Spencer's best friend, and tweeting 1488 all the time. And he was also in naval intelligence. Interesting. Speaks foreign languages, sort of interesting guy. And these people are paid to lie about all this kind of stuff. And you think they're on your side. This administration's on your side. This is what I want to destroy in your mind. If I achieve nothing else.
Nobody's on our side. We all got to fight for ourselves, man.
I want radical right-wingers. I want white people. I want Christian nationalists to stop using the word we. When you talk about Trump, when you talk about the GOP, we have this tendency to identify with the Republican Party. Why? People say, we need to win this election. We need to do this. We. There is no we. It is not we. We are not getting shit. They are getting paid. They are getting paid to promote the GOP. They, the politicians, are getting the privileges of being in office. They are getting favors dispensed and kickbacks. They won. You, we, I did not get anything, did not get shit. Unemployment is way higher. The job market sucks than they're letting on. And whereas the Biden administration was trying to forgive student loans and wipe medical debt from your credit score, things that actually help you, this administration's not doing any of that. Not doing any of that. They extended the corporate tax cut. It's like, so we don't get anything when they win. The Democrats and the Republicans are they. They, the Democrats, they, the Republicans. They take turns in office. Obviously, yes, the Republicans have better policies than the Democrats, but not by much. And it's a lot closer than you might think. And this Epstein thing is just the biggest example. They promised you, and they think about like the culture they created around this for 5 years. The way they hammed up this Epstein thing. Epstein, a pedophile island, et cetera, et cetera. And then when it's finally time to produce, they turn and say, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you care about that? You're an idiot. Whoa, you're a Democrat. And it's like, wow. It's like they literally, it's like those TikToks. It's like a prank where you go through the drive-thru and they duck down and they come up and it's a completely different person. 5 years. We could not hear the end of the Epstein files. The second they get into office and people want them, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, you care about that? Oh, get real. That's not actually affecting anybody. You care, that's a hoax. That was never real. If you still care about that, you should just switch parties already because that's not loyal. That's hostile. And they do this with everything. They did it with immigration. The second that Trump passed the big, beautiful bill, he did a rally and said, we're going to slow down the deportations for illegal immigrants.
It really feels like they're just telling us one thing, and they have a whole separate agenda and calendar and a whole separate list of things that they're actually doing. It's kind of crazy to see. I mean, it really is. It's like, it's just, we're being lied to. That's how I feel. If you feel like we're being lied to, if you feel like we're being gaslit, Let me know in the comments down below, and even better, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next upload, because I'm here to tell the truth. Peace.